Hey everyone, TPS Miner here. Welcome back to the TPS Miner channel. Today I want to give you a walkthrough of my mining setup, my office, my studio, and talk through some of the problems we've been having since we moved everything down here. So we moved all of our rigs down here into the basement from the garage in the hopes of being able to heat the house, and it has been extremely successful. I would say right now down here it's probably about 80 degrees in my basement. It's about 68 degrees upstairs, so my heat's not really been kicking on all that much, which is great. But as you can imagine, with this tight, compact setup, the rigs down here, the cards on the bottom are staying relatively cool. The second tier is getting a little bit warmer, and then the rig on top, despite having these GPURisers.com fans blowing, this rig's getting hot because all of this air from down below is just floating up. These fans are pulling some of the heat out, but it's just not enough. It's getting way too hot. The cards are getting way too hot. So I've tried a few things. I have a fan over here that I had blowing across the top to try and cool this off and get some of that heat out of the way. That really hasn't been helping. I resorted to a box fan, which is loud and, again, not something I want to have down here while I'm trying to make videos. Take a look here. I've got a PDU just sitting on a rolling rack. I've got a server power supply that is set up and powering some of the cards down here on the AMD rig. So again, just terrible setup right now. I'm really unhappy with it. So I went and I picked up this Husky industrial shelf. So this is going to allow me to do a couple of things. It's going to allow me first and foremost to take all the rigs that are densely packed right here. And again, this is great for space. This is great for generating a lot of heat, but they're still going to generate the same amount of heat on this shelf. It will just be more distributed and they won't be heating each other. So again, that is going to help me solve the heat problem. I'll take a few steps back. You can see I've got the space. It's not that I have a lack of space here. So I'm going to put this shelving unit just here on the wall and distribute these rigs, these four, more evenly across the larger shelf. I'm going to take the PDU and I'll be able to, instead of have it sitting on this cart, be able to put it on, maybe just zip tie it to one of these brackets. So it'll help us clean that up. We're going to go ahead, we're going to assemble this rack. We're going to get it set up against the wall here. And when we come back, I will be able to show you how we are going to clean this mess up. All right, so it's been a few days, but we did get the rack built. And we did get the rigs on it. I've got some of my loose miscellaneous stuff now on the lower two shelves and the four rigs on the top two shelves. And I do still have a little bit of space up here if I were to need to put some fans or something. And you can see I did move the box fans back behind. I have them turned off for the video. But generally speaking, we are seeing much better temperatures on the GPUs. So what I did, I took these GPURiser fans and I spun them around. So when I had originally installed them, I was blowing air back across the cards. Now I have them set so they're pulling air through. And then with the fans, the box fans back behind, even running on low, it's just pushing some air through the cards and then the fans are pulling the heat out. So same thing on this side. So the thermal performance on these, as I said, is so much better. And I still have more room to improve, right? So this rig has no fans on it. So once I can get some fans installed on this, I'll be pulling the heat away from these cards, and that will be less heat that'll be rising up into the bottom of this rig. And with this one, I only have one fan running. So I have the fan plugged into the motherboard, but because these, the GPURisers.com fans have Molex. So I can daisy chain the Molex together and power them off the power supply and get all four running. With these Arctic fans, they just have the 3-pin fan connector, and I don't have a fan controller or a way to do more than just one fan. So again, these two rigs, I can definitely improve on the way that we're pulling heat through these guys, which will hopefully cool these down even further. So today is the first day where I live where we're really getting some spring-like conditions. So the temperature is about 70 degrees outside. So by far the warmest day we've had in quite some time. So let's hop over into HiveOS and let's take a look at the actual temperatures that we're seeing on the cards. Okay, so we're back in HiveOS, and I turned the fans on, those box fans, on low. So you can probably hear them in the audio, but I wanted to have them running just so you could get a real accurate view of what temperatures we're seeing across the rig. So we're going to start with the Skywalker rig. So this is the rig that does have the GPURisers.com fans on it, and you can see the jump up in the temperatures when I turn the fans off to record the first part of the video, but we are slowly now starting to come back down. So you can see we're in the upper 40s, lower 50s, a few of the cards in the mid 50s. This 2060 is mining Flux right now, so it is running a little warmer. If we were mining Ethereum, this would be dropping down into the mid 40s range, mid to upper 40s. But again, the fans are running 65, 75%, so we're not running the fans real hard. And we're keeping the cards all right around that 50 degree mark, which is very comfortable. All right, let's jump over to Vader, which is the rig that's sitting next to Skywalker. It has the Arctic, those black Arctic fans. And you can see we're running generally in the upper 40s. We do have this 1066 gig that's running at 56 degrees. I recently changed the thermal paste on this one. When I opened it up, it doesn't have thermal pads on it. So I tried to get some thermal pads on it, but I don't have the right size, so I'm going to have to go back and fix this. But again, 56 degrees C, not so bad. Everything else running in the the upper 40s, low 50s, so real happy with that. Now let's drop down to Yoda. This is the AMD rig that has no fans on it. And you can see we're running in the 6600 XT around 40 degrees with 60, 64 degrees on the memory temps. And the 470 that I repadded and repasted, we're down to 55 degrees C. If you recall, when we first got this card, it was up to 66 degrees C. And then the 580s are down at 42 and 49. So again, very comfortable, very happy with the thermal performance here. And then Chewbacca is the latest rig. This is the new one that we're building that we'd seen in the frame that was kind of under construction. And we've got a 1050 Ti that's running at about 55 degrees. This is mining Ethereum Classic. This card always runs a bit warm. And then a 3060 Ti, 3070 Ti, both mining Ethereum at 52 degrees. 70% on the fans, and again, it only has that one single fan running on the actual case itself. So again, considering just a few weeks ago when it was 25 degrees outside and it was pretty cool, generally speaking, in the house, the cards were running upwards of 60 degrees, 60 plus degrees. So, you know, maybe a bit of an exaggeration to say they were hot, you know, but for me, 60, 65 degrees when it's winter time out was starting to concern me. So here we are today. It's March 6th, 2022. It's 70 degrees outside, and my cards are running comfortably in the upper 40s, lower 50s. My space is much cleaner. So much happier with the way that that we've got the farm set up right now. And gives me a lot more confidence going into the winter, or into the summer and the spring and the summer. So please let me know in the comments below if you are concerned about your setup going into the spring and summer. Let me know what you're doing about it. I'd love to hear. And if anyone has any suggestions for me for what I've got set up here, please let me know. I'm open to suggestions. I want to make sure that I can keep things as comfortable as possible. So, all right, well, if you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button. Please consider subscribing to the channel. Hit the notification bell to be notified of future content. Really appreciate you taking the time to watch this video. Hope you have a great rest of your day, and I look forward to seeing you again real soon.